Comeuppance Network.
This is how to watch TV.
On Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV.
Westworld with Joel and Jeremy. My name's Joel. This is Jeremy.
We are brought to you by Comeuppance Network. You can check out all of our social media sites at thishishowtowatchtv.com. Also, email us directly or indirectly at thishishowtowatchtv@gmail.com.
If you figure out how to indirectly email somebody, you let me know.
Yeah,
it's an interesting concept.
That's why I keep saying it.
Yeah.
I know how to do it, so I mean.
Oh, that's called. Oh, it's
called
the
not emailing somebody.
BCC, the blind carbon copy. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at _HowToWatchTV. My personal one is at Comeuppance. He's at DishFits. If you want to spell that, you're welcome to.
No.
He is at that. He just barely checks it because nobody interacts with him. Hit him up. Make him do Facebook. Or make him do Twitter. Me. We are here to talk about episode 5 of Westworld, Contrapasso.
Okay.
I believe that's how you pronounce that. New setup at the moment. We're trying out something different here today to shake it up between this show and
he doesn't have a
shows.
House.
Right, I don't have a house at the
Okay.
moment. If you want to check out any of our other shows, there's also a Chronologically Lost podcast that we do every week. I do with his wife, my sister.
Quit plugging your other podcasts.
I have to plug the other stuff. They may not know. They genuinely may not know that if they really want to, they can watch Chronologically Joel, which is just my life in vlog form, my kids growing up, all that shit. Like I guarantee you'll be entertained by it if you want to check it out. It's like an hour and a half a week, though. I get it.
None of that is true. Moving along.
Other podcasts, we're doing The Walking Dead at the moment as well.
Right.
We're doing, like I said, Chronologically Lost. And yeah, that's about all the podcasts as of now. The Leftovers will be coming back. We're going to do one on Attack on Titan, at least one on Attack on Titan.
Before the second season comes out, I'd like to do that.
So shows that you should be watching if you want to keep up with what we're going to be talking about here soon. You're vaping again.
Doing it on purpose.
Oh, okay. So that people can complain and turn it off. They'll be like, God damn it, he's vaping again. Right in the beginning.
Anyway, moving along.
So, Pariah, that city. What'd you think of the city?
The horror city? The city where, like, anything, like, there's no rules?
Right. Yeah, I mean, they did say that the further out you get, the worse,
the more dangerous it gets. How did he put it? How did Logan put it? He was like, the further out you get, the more grandioso, the more, deeper
everything's
the
really
narratives
simple.
become,
It's all simple in
Riverwater. Yeah.
Clearwater? What the hell's it called? The place where you start. Sweetwater.
Sweetwater.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so he was saying how simple it is there. The storylines are there, but out here they're more complex and interwoven or whatever. I don't know. A town built on decadence and transgression. They're recruited for a mission. Dolores William and Logan. Man in Black meets an unlikely ally and is... Oh, that's the fucking thing. Damn it. I put that... Dolores, William, and Logan reach Pariah, a town built on decadence and transgression, and are recruited for a dangerous mission. The Man in Black meets an unlikely ally in his search to unlock the maze. That was the...
Synopsis?
The synopsis off of there. I put headings on afterwards, and I fucking had it under the heading. So Dolores is hearing whispers about how to find someone, and she dismisses it as having been the wind. So
she lies to William about it.
Right, she lies to Ford about it.
She's lying to everybody. Yeah,
So she's hearing Arnold?
Supposedly.
Do you think Ford killed Arnold? Do you think Ford was involved in...
Either that or Arnold figure out some way how to, like we've been talking about, transfer his consciousness.
Because I was thinking, does he even exist? But if he did that, that makes sense. If he would transfer himself into an android. But like I was thinking maybe that didn't even exist and that's like a storyline point that Ford wrote. That Arnold was a thing. But the way Man in Black talked to him, we totally called Man in Black sitting down with him.
Yeah.
He didn't say, oh, I'm the investor or whatever it was, the board member, remember?
No.
But it wasn't the board member, but he did sit down and have a meeting with Ford.
It was interesting, too.
Yeah, because he was mentioning something about 34 years. Okay, so let's see. Where the fuck are we at in this? Well, fuck it. Pariah again. Sorry, I don't mean to be bouncing all over the place. So Logan and family are considering buying out Pariah because they are hemorrhaging cash. So, or was they talking about Westworld?
I think they were talking about Westworld.
Okay.
Or maybe sponsoring a certain part of Westworld. That part,
Right.
that city. I don't know.
Interesting point. I mean, if they were going to buy Westworld in general, that'd be badass. I mean, that makes stakes a little bit higher. That
It
that
is
it could-
Billick. I thought that was him.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of his name
Yeah,
from
Bellick
Prison
from
Break,
Prison
but I
Break.
knew it was him.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So, supposedly this place was created based on a partnership, but right before it opened, one of them killed himself. His team of investigators couldn't find anything about him, not even a picture. So I wrote at that time, was he killed by Ford? Did he exist? What if he was the first android? You know, Arnold. And then,
Right.
so they think that they're hearing this thing that they're not supposed to be hearing, but they're supposed to be hearing it because maybe Ford made him an android, like transfer the consciousness. Maybe he did it himself.
See, there was another interesting conversation as far as like the androids and that transfer of consciousness. Like when Man in Black was talking about, I opened one of you up once.
Right. Well, he was talking to Teddy.
A million little parts and this and that.
A million little perfect parts.
And then they changed you.
Yeah, made you flesh and bone because it was cheaper. So
Your humanity is cost effective, is what he said. But yeah, so my question is how much robot are these things actually? I don't.
like, what
I
about
know
them
we
is still
see
robotic?
I know we see like the robot parts in playing the
coding.
piano.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In the beginning, like in the in the credits, you see the robot fingers, but
right. But doesn't it look like a skeleton
I
being
think that's.
built?
But like I was gonna say, maybe this is like different stages. Like there's older ones that are actual. Like Bill, he's talking to. Did you notice when he was talking to Bill, he was like standing perfectly still, but when he would blink his eyes separately.
No, I didn't notice that. Bill did that.
Yeah. But he was just real, and he just didn't have any kind of response whatsoever for the stories that he was told. They were just like pre-programmed, scripted
Right.
responses. So he seems like, and he made noise when he moved, like he made like
Oh,
robotic
did he? Okay,
noises.
I genuinely didn't notice.
So like
either of
these
those
things now are more human than they are fucking. These things, these people have created life basically,
Right.
Absence of consciousness, and they're becoming conscious. So really, murdering these people like.
Oh, so
Should
they're
that
essentially
not be
having
okay?
to be doctors.
But like what are they made out of to be able to be brought back like that? Like what?
Well, I don't know if this might be tying into it or not, but everybody is sort of I say everybody, from what I've read online, people have completely dismissed the two timelines theory because it would be too complicated for the regular audience members to understand, which I think is insulting. And I'm starting to come around to the idea that maybe they are going with the two timelines thing and they are going to just figure out a way to make it palatable and make it an easy explanation.
Well, I mean, like
To make it
I
make
thought there
sense,
was a
rather.
couple of different nudges in that direction.
So
This
in-
episode. First of all, Lawrence. How?
Right. How can Lawrence be in two parts of the story? Now, I get that there could be two
There could
of the
absolutely be
same.
two of the same guy, like two
Okay.
of the same android or whatever you want to call him, or host.
Right, they
But-
can duplicate it, but why put them into the same story?
But
Why
doesn't
give them the
that
same
seem-
name?
That's equally as confusing as the time thing.
Trying to make it all make
Right.
sense, but they've very strategically kept certain characters apart.
Yes.
You know,
William Logan.
Yeah, and we don't know. I mean, the last thing we saw of Dolores when in the Man in
The
Black
only
storyline.
thing that's weird, okay, that I'm thinking about that might shit on this.
Okay, I mean, there's
is
always things.
Anthony Hopkins
Yeah.
gave Teddy the new backstory that
Right.
Logan, William, and Dolores are all. No, wait, that's Man in Black had. Okay, no, I'm wrong. Man in Black has Teddy. Teddy's not with Bill, but he left. Yeah, it totally could work, man. It totally could fit.
I just think
I
that-
really think that they nudge us in that direction.
I don't know that we're having enough faith in the creators of this show. I genuinely think that this is working on a higher level than we were anticipating. It feels, dare I say it, it feels in the Lost realm in terms of you don't know what's going on. it feels like anything could happen in the best way possible. You don't know which direction an episode is going to go. You think, oh, well, obviously in the next episode they'll pick up with this storyline or that one, but they always go in directions you don't see coming.
Right.
And, like, even the stuff in the episode, you're like, what the fuck was that sometimes? And just, I don't know. I think they're fucking with us in the perfect kind of way. I'm enjoying
pushing the right
ride.
buttons. Oh, me too. Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, it's the only show I'm really watching currently.
Aside from Walking Dead.
Aside from The Walking Dead, but like...
Yeah, stuff that's currently airing.
Yeah. And like stuff like I don't know, there's different tiers. Like there's stuff I watch like Arrow and Flash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like those they're good and they're fun to watch, but they're not on the level of Game of Thrones, Westworld. This show is on this tier. This show is on the tier of Lost. I'm not rating them. I'm just saying, but like as far as storytelling goes,
in terms of complexity,
yes.
I was just going to say that all other shows, only dramas really match that category. There's only one show that is a comedy that falls into the same storytelling dynamic. Rick and Morty. In terms of the complexity of it.
I mean, like I said, I think
I can't think of another comedy that was that.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have an It does have an overarching story, but not.
Yes, in every way possible, every fucking thing matters.
Like I was saying to you last time we were watching one of those, like it was just like, could you imagine trying to explain this episode to somebody?
Right.
Like it was just so ridiculous. It was the Mr. Poopy Butthole episode.
Yeah.
I can't even think of how to try to explain it right now. They were just kept
remembering imagining people that weren't there.
Yeah, I guess it's an easy way to say it.
But I mean, that's one of the only non-dramas that are really in that same ballpark of storytelling. You know what I mean? The depth of it all, where everything kind of matters, and I don't know this.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck they're going with this. So just going to briefly run through some things. So Dolores is hearing the whispers, and it's making her remember whoever you were before doesn't matter here. I thought he was talking about Pariah, not Westworld. At the time when he said that.
Okay.
So is she starting to understand, or do you think it's part of Ford's program? Or is this prior? Is this old robot Dolores?
That's where that's why it's even hard to talk about this show,
right?
Because we don't know what's going on, so it's hard to say.
Idea.
So we almost have to have two different conversations,
right?
Like, okay, if it's not two different timelines, then this, and if it is two different timelines, then this.
They haven't showed her in in that timeline in quite a while, other than like a flashback to Man in Black. No, that was on her side. She was remembering him.
I'm telling you, man, they've actually been very strategic about not crossing certain paths, and so there's got to be a purpose to that, and I think I mean either William or Logan could be the Man in Black. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I would think it would probably have to be William. But
well, we saw in this episode him take a little step to the dark side, killing off
right.
one of those
That's
soldiers.
exactly where I was going next. So
right.
they wanted an invite to the Confederados.
Right.
So they were talking with Elazo, who is Lawrence. And then Dolores kind of steps up and starts helping to negotiate, and she's filling a different role than she's supposed to be, really.
Right.
Or again, I don't feel like anything is happening that's not supposed to be happening.
I mean, we could even be operating on 3 different timelines.
Go on.
The her talking to Ford and them.
You mean the dreams that she's having? Because they seem to be in the middle of the other storyline during the same day.
The whole that phrase that puts them to sleep.
Yes.
A deep dreamless slumber or something like that, and then they pass out.
Right.
She did that in the middle of a crowd. So how did they gather her up without like the guests or anybody seeing?
Because they can pause everything. Remember
when they can't pause the guests.
No, but presumably they did it when there were no guests around. Maybe Ford can. I don't know, man. It's a good question. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. I want to know. I want to know how many guests there are in the park. That would
Or
be
how many guests are even allowed in the park
at one time. Yeah. How many are robots and how many are guests?
We've seen a few different guests. William Logan, the chick that was hanging. I don't know if she was a guest, but it seemed like she was. The chick that was with Teddy. They were going after Wyatt. I think it was in either the episode 3 or episode 4.
Okay.
Remember when Teddy got his backstory? Like the chick that was with him?
Okay.
Like I think that was a guest. She was a guest. She didn't get a name or anything.
Well, we know
like
the
that,
guests were that guy that shot Paolo in the first episode.
He was a guest.
What's his name in this show? I can't remember. I think it starts with an H.
Hector. Hector.
Yeah. So
Escaton.
that guy
Hector
that took
Escaton.
the mission, that William and them passed up, or that Teddy seemed to pass up.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I don't know how many people are guests. It felt like there might have been another one on that mission with Logan and Teddy.
Well, there was even a couple when they were in the shootout. They were all ducked behind the rock.
Okay.
And like Teddy turned around and he was like, "Take these guys back" or whatever. The two guys were like, "I didn't sign up for this shit."
Yeah.
Like this is crazy.
Right.
Those are guests.
Right.
And then the chick I'm talking about, she was a guest. She was like, "No, I'm in."
Yeah.
And they, went for it. So then the next time we see Teddy, he's tied to the tree
bleeding out or whatever.
So
what happened?
It's hard to say where they are, who's who, when's when.
Right.
It's tough to actually think about, and it's like I said, it makes it really hard to have an intelligent conversation about the show because we don't know.
Okay, so they went and they robbed the nitroglycerin.
Right.
And then they brought it back, and William kind of popped his cherry, killing-wise, on there, and it was for Dolores.
Right.
Clearly, she was in danger, and he lost his shit and shot 3 people. So then they came back, and it was Bellick from Prison Break was the
Confederado leader.
The leader, yeah. Now, just a thought, there's something so super unsexy about a brothel.
Oh, disgusting.
Like, that doesn't turn me on. Seeing a fucking just room of people fucking. Like, that's not... It feels cheap.
Well, that's like you see that
is.
shit in like Spartacus or like Game of Thrones. Just,
I'd see it in Game of Thrones, but not Spartacus. I'm just kidding. That's made my 300 list somehow. No,
you're a 300 list.
Right.
You're on my fucking 300
William
list.
is the EVP of Logan's company.
300 list is a whole nother podcast.
Right. He was picked because he's not a threat. I thought that was an interesting conversation. He's like, that's probably why my sister picked you. Because you're not a threat.
Right. So, and then he lost his shit a little bit. But he wanted him to. It's almost like Logan wanted him to hit him. Like, hit me when he threw me up against the wall. No, because he goes,
that's what I thought. Like, bitch. Like, that's
well, basically, but like,
afterwards.
Logan didn't, like, punch him. I think he wanted, like, William to lose his shit on him a little bit, to show him some fucking fire, you know what I mean? And, like...
But he said he picked him because he's not a threat, so he doesn't want him to become a threat.
He was poking at him.
Yeah,
he was trying to get the response, to break him out of that shell, to make him a threat. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to help him out a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Dolores is wandering around, she finds a tarot card reader, and then flips over a maze card.
The tarot card reader was her.
Right, it then ended up being her.
Right.
Yeah. Which was fucking weird, and then she tells herself to follow the maze, and then says she's unraveling, and she starts, like, pulling up...
a white, like, thread.
Yeah.
That
was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Alazzo, Lawrence, is filling Slim with nitroglycerin, so he's going to take the body and blow something up.
Right.
I don't know what exactly. Bellick realizes the bottle isn't filled with nitroglycerin because they're tossing it around, and one of them drops it, and it fucking doesn't explode the shit out of them, and... yeah, of course they're playing fucking Russian roulette, essentially tossing a bottle of nitroglycerin around.
Because that's a thing that people do, right?
Well, back then, yeah. Right. I mean, I say back then like that's a real time.
I don't know. Like, it's still funny though, because like, if you think about putting yourself into like one of these periods, like you feel like you'd have the same intelligence you have now, but it wouldn't be. You would be different because you would be a product of your environment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, you probably would be turned on by a room of people fucking at that if you were from that period. Like if you were to go back in time from now, you'd be like, oh
and
no.
That's the only time you could get laid back then. You're
right.
Like, oh, that's
you gotta go
just
fucking throw a fucking quarter on the table, like fucking in front of everybody. Like that's terrible. Yes, but back then, if you were from then, you were probably okay with that.
Fair enough. They beat the shit out of Logan, and then William kind of leaves him.
But he smiled as he left him.
Yeah, he's like, nope.
No, not
it was
William.
just like-
Did you see Logan smile?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, as he were dragging him off, and William was like, no, and they showed Logan again, and he kind of smiled as they were
Really?
dragging
Okay,
him
I
off.
didn't notice
like
him
he
smirking.
finally
Okay.
you know,
Maybe he's trying to push him
I
into
think he
something.
is.
Maybe he's trying to push him into Man in Black.
push him into being Man in Black. Putting on the black hat.
Well, Dolores guns them all down, and it's like,
Boom, 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 boom.
damn, she imagined a story where she didn't have to be the damsel. I thought that was fucking great.
Well, there was another interesting part, too, where he said to her, the real world, and she asked him about that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I thought you weren't supposed to notice stuff like that.
And she's like, why wouldn't I notice?
Right.
Again, I don't feel like her saying weird shit like that is not intentional. I feel like that's the way Ford coded her. Like, to be asking those questions. I think he wants to push this park beyond what anybody else is comfortable with.
Well, of course he does.
I mean, just...
That was his goal to begin with.
Right.
Well, that's why even the little English dude was like, no, we need to scale it back and make it less lifelike. And less,
Right.
you know, with all these emotions and all that.
Yeah.
We don't need that. The people want to come here and, you know...
Right.
and fuck and shoot Indians, you know, like you said, you know?
They make it to the train and come upon Alonzo with the body, and now they're friends and they can call him Lawrence. And then Dolores sees the map on the lid of the coffin. That was
The map of the maze, right.
The map of the maze, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it for their storyline. For that one in particular. Ford and Old Bill. So the old dog story was obviously
okay, so
about
there,
Ford.
if you think about him saying, and not being Alonzo, him saying, now we're friends, now you can call me Lawrence.
Right, that's
was
like
almost like
setting
a
up-
confirmation of, like saying that he wasn't a different host. This is the same dude.
And later on, he's friends with Man in Black, so he gets to call him Lawrence.
He met him 30 years ago. So yeah, I think we are watching 30 years ago.
I mean, I hope so. I don't want it. I don't need to be swerved.
And also, I
just
hope
for the sake of it.
it doesn't need to be that either. I also hope it might be something even better that we
Right.
haven't really thought of,
Right.
which could be cool with me too.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said,
It seems like it's pushing that direction. I'm not going to be
but
disappointed.
maybe they're
if it
doing
isn't.
that on purpose too,
Right,
like
just
trying to
fuck
throw
with
us off. Right.
Red herring. This whole show is red herrings. That's all it is.
Oh yeah. Well, you know,
What's going on in the show?
I just glanced back at it.
Let's see. So when Ford and Old Bill were talking at the beginning, the old dog story was obviously about Ford. Spent his whole life trying to catch that thing. Then once he did, he didn't know what to do
Good
with
story
it.
too. I like this story.
I mean, so that's the park then, right? That he was chasing the thing, and then once he caught it, he didn't know what to do with it. I mean, I feel like he was talking about himself,
right.
but I'm not really sure how to tie it to his present situation.
Either that, or he was talking about Arnold
Okay. good
chasing
point.
down and figuring out how to make these things conscious. And like, then when he did that, he was like, "Oh shit, this isn't."
So you don't think Ford wanted them to be conscious?
No, he said they don't need to be conscious. He said it. He walked
Oh,
up and
did
cut
he?
the one on the face. They don't feel anything. They're not
Right.
here for that. He stops everybody. He wants to be in control of everything. The last thing he wants is for them to become conscious.
Okay.
That's how it seems to me, because the way he wants control, he controlled the snake.
Right.
Everything seems magic except to the magician. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the magician. He wants
Right.
control over everything.
Okay.
He doesn't want... They become conscious. That's a problem for him.
Makes sense.
Right.
Drink to the lady with the white shoes. Think that'll be relevant?
From Old Bill?
Yeah.
He's like, his responses were like, I've seen my own number of showdowns or something like that.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant.
Right.
And then said something like that.
Drink to
Yeah.
the lady with the white shoes. It's just one
So,
of those
I
things
don't
that
know,
sounded
but
like it's something they'll come back to later. Like it'll be some throwback story. Okay, Man in Black, Lawrence and Teddy. An old friend of Man in Black says there's a path for everyone and your path leads back to me. So who's that friend? Ford, maybe? I don't know. That would have told him that? Because that sounded like something that was said before. Everybody has a path and yours, or there's a path for everyone and yours leads back to me.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Oh, right before he cut his throat.
Right, and back to him. So from the past, potentially.
That's another line,
Right.
yes, that makes it seem like, they had met before. Like, they've been...
And he says, no one takes that tone with Man in
Not
Black.
a man in this world will
Yeah.
take that tone with me, you do.
Maybe in a past life or just in that other incarnation.
Right.
That he lets him do that. Young Ford shows up. I'm assuming that's Young Ford.
Well, that's what we've assumed.
Yeah, that's
but
what
we
we're
don't know,
calling
like,
him.
yeah.
And he fetches them some water. And they said he's too small. Like I didn't.
Not enough blood.
Oh, to kill
drain
him. Got it. That makes more sense.
Right.
Yeah, so he hangs Lawrence up over his satchel and fills it with blood, and then he gives Teddy the blood. This is where he says they used to be more robotic back in the day, now they're flesh and bone. Man in Black is using Dolores to motivate Teddy, and he is not doing well at the moment. Teddy isn't.
So, but the fact that Man in Black gets whatever he wants, but doesn't seem to be friends with Ford. How about when he went to go after Ford? Let's open you up and see what's in there.
we're all,
and then Teddy grabbed him.
That was, where the fuck was that at? Oh yeah, Man in Black is, Ford decides to have a drink with Man in Black and Teddy. That's literally the next line. Great.
Right.
He's the self-imposed villain on the park. Man in Black is.
Well,
That's
obviously,
what he was
but
saying. Like you don't.
So-
there isn't one, so somebody
so
had to
does
step
Ford
in.
not want him to find what he's looking for? Do you
I think that I think Ford is playing everybody. Is the
Well,
basic
yeah,
gist. I don't
yeah.
think anybody's getting one over on him. I think he knows more than everybody. And there's some secret that he's not telling everybody.
Well, Well, apparently, like you
Yeah.
can't. I don't know what the secret is. But
Right,
yes,
no, I'm trying to be vague.
He's yeah.
People come here for purpose. Like, because here you can have a very direct, this is your motivation, this is what you have to accomplish. Whereas in the real world, everything's too fucking muddled.
Fluid, yeah.
Yeah, and like you can do whatever you want, and like here you have a specific, you have to go find this guy, you took this mission on. You know? Like it gives you a thing. Whereas in the real world, nobody really cares to give you a purpose. You have to find your own.
You have to find your own.
Right. Man in Black thinks there's deeper meaning, and Arnold had the answer, or has the answer. And then he threatens to open up Ford, and then Ford has Teddy grab the knife with his little powers. He didn't even do anything. It just
Didn't
happened.
move. It just happened.
Like he went, and then Teddy pulled it and fucking stuck it in the table. I
Right.
mean, that was a badass show of power. Like that was a power play, just to go.
Well,
like,
and,
you
the,
can't
and
fuck
even
me
the
up.
fact that Teddy was all fucked up and sitting there, but just didn't matter because he and then he was like ready to go after that. It's like he gave him like
he fixed him
an
back
extra
up.
battery or something.
Right,
Like,
he recharged.
he
him for
recharged
doing
him a little
that
bit
favor for
because
him.
after he walked away, he fucking gotta hit the road. You know, he was
Yeah.
like ready to go after that. That was crazy.
Yeah, because he was fucked before that.
Yeah.
So maybe this is, I don't know. Then so this would have to be present. I'm saying present and past. You know what I mean? This would have to be the present storyline then, where Teddy is more flesh and bone. That's why he was able to give him blood and. Yeah, because he said you guys used to be more. Yes, we're definitely at a different thing.
So Man in Black would definitely be
He's
the
present, is what I mean. I'm not saying the other one isn't, but we're definitely at present with Man in Black. In the Westworld body shop, the two douchebag butchers working
Right.
on Maeve, and then he has a fucking dead bird in the locker, or it's a robot.
It's a robot bird. He's trying to learn how to be a coder and how to
Okay.
code these things to
I
behave.
just had
like
a feeling it was
lifelike
going to
things.
wake up Maeve when he was doing that. I'm just like, he's going to fucking code something, and it's going to accidentally code her.
Oh, right.
You know, and then she's just up, sitting there. So he reanimates it. He's practicing code on it. Elsie has video of some butcher fucking a host.
Right.
I'm just calling them butchers now because, you know, that's what they call themselves,
Yeah.
basically. If they can say it, I can say it. It's just like other words. I had a feeling there was something weird with the host, with the smashed head. Someone was using him to smuggle data out of the park via satellite uplink.
Right.
So that's fucking fascinating.
Yeah, so
that's
that
probably
part.
the best revelation of the whole episode. That that there is an outside of the park. That there is
Right.
satellites. Like they're
So
telling us
then,
that
like,
we're on
the
Earth.
real world
The real world exists. I
And
think that
it's-
was
and it's
confirmation
not.
there.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is too is like Ford being some important person. What if he's like the president or some dumb shit?
Who?
Ford, not
the-
Ford. Man in Black. What if he's like some fucking like high-ranking fucking
Right, that
politician?
could
You know
be.
what I mean? Like, no man in the world would take that tone with me. You know what I mean? Like, he's an important dude in the outside.
I thought he was talking about in the Westworld, but
I
I
think
guess
no,
in the
he
real
was
world.
talking about in the real world. I
Gotcha.
think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, that's why he likes coming here, because nobody in the world, regular world, can talk to me like him. You sadistic fuck.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? That guy was in Lost, wasn't he? Wasn't that Caesar? Wasn't he Caesar in Lost?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
The butcher's trying to code the bird and it seems to fly properly again, and he accidentally codes Maeve. I'm assuming, unless she just woke up
No,
again.
she knew what she was doing in the last episode when she dug the bullet out of herself. It clicked for her. She figured
Right.
everything out.
Okay, so
I
she
can
knows his
remember.
name is Felix
She knows how
and
many
says they
times
need
she's
to chat.
died, and she's been paying attention to them every time she dies and gets brought back.
Right.
You know?
Okay. And then from that storyline, we go to Dolores when she's being asked about Arnold elsewhere in Westworld Body
Right.
Shop, unknown time. Arnold is the voices.
Well,
Or
they
whispers,
said that,
rather?
but like, yeah, I still.
I mean, why they gotta fuck with me with
What does he
Lost
say?
stuff
Kill
like that?
him, or you gotta, you have to find him, or something like that, or how?
Right.
What did he say to her when she said it was the wind?
Oh, I don't know. She
said
dismissed
something
it
to her.
as the wind.
No, she answered him. She said, "Show me how,
Oh, to find him?
or find him, or
Yeah.
find it." And she said, "Show
Possibly.
me how."
34 years ago was her last contact with Arnold. He told her she was going to help him destroy this place. And Ford and her admit they're not old friends.
Right.
And that she tells Arnold he doesn't know when Ford walks away. So she is talking to somebody. Whether it's Arnold or not, we can't confirm, but it seems like it would be Arnold. It's kind of a dick move if it's not Arnold.
Either that, or it's
a storyline.
what's his face, Bernard. Because he's been saying you're not telling anybody about our little talks, right?
So Bernard being Arnold, though?
I don't know that he'd be Arnold, but he's
Oh, you're thinking maybe that she was
he's giving
saying
her
that
the voices.
too. But she was
He could be
asking
talking-
about Arnold specifically. When was the last time you spoke with Arnold? And then
Right.
she goes, "No, I didn't tell him." It felt like it was at least something that's meant to be Arnold. Maybe he's trying to see
She said
if she
he
can
doesn't know, and
deceive
she
him.
said, "No, I didn't tell him."
Right.
Okay.
After
He walked away.
Ford walked away, she goes, "I didn't tell him. He doesn't know." Basically. So what if that's Ford seeing if she's capable of deceit in that state?
Right.
What if this is a test? What if he's programmed that?
to see if
She will try to betray him, and she has betrayed him,
she
essentially.
has. Yeah. She's lied.
Okay, so this one's kind of far-fetched. This is just a theory at the end. Could Man in Black be Ford's father? It doesn't seem
they
very
seem to be about the
plausible
same
once they
age.
met. I
Yeah.
typed this up more earlier in the episode.
Oh.
Ford's dad told him to accept his lot in life. The world owed him nothing, and that sounded similar to what Man in Black said to that kid that called him son.
Right.
So I just thought maybe there was that connection there, but that's in the present potentially. Maybe that kid's not related at all. Just, some sort of weird guess as to what the fuck's going on, because I don't know what's going on in this show.
It's insane. It's like I said,
It's
it's hard
great,
to even
though.
have it. It's great, but it's hard to have an educated conversation about it because we're just not educated on it enough.
we
We're
don't
watching
know
it,
this world.
We don't know the world yet, and we don't know what they're doing to us as far as storytelling
But this
goes.
is the journey, man. This
It is.
This
It's
is all
great.
part of the fucking.
I'm not-
In Lost. or even Game of Thrones. We didn't
I
know
have
what
a
was
buddy of
going
mine
on
that
really
talk-
till
I-
season 3.
I have a buddy of mine
where
that
we
talks
could
about
talk
Lost all
about
the time
it.
and how he's just like, there's just too many questions and too many things. I was like, so you just wanted all those answers right away? The show wouldn't have been any fun like
That's
that, man.
the fun of the show. Enjoy.
Right.
Oh fuck! If you're not enjoying shows for the mystery, you're definitely not watching this. Yeah, we'll be back to talk about Game of Thrones.
The Walking Dead.
We'll be back to talk about Walking Dead relatively soon. For now, if you have any thoughts, stuff we didn't mention about Westworld, theories that you have, post them in the comments. Do us a favor, as soon as I get the iTunes shit working again, please leave us if we've entertained you for a second, please leave a review on iTunes. That helps us get more noticed or potentially get more plays.
Or get kicked off. Either way.
Right.
Just let us know.
Just please comment, leave us a review. Tell people to fucking watch the show. We're not paying for any advertising. It's literally just us doing this. We're going to do this whether people watch or not, but it would be cooler if more people watched. So
Obviously.
That's
This is how to watch TV.
it. See you later. Why did I finger gun? That was stupid.
You finger gun. You've been fucking making fun of him for finger guns. Anthony Rizzo. By the way, go Cubs.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.